What's good, y'all? It's your boy Sean Peter Blunt guy. Hey! And we are back with another Berserk chapter read through. We will be reading chronologically chapter 12. And if you're reading this through book, if you're reading this by the book or literature or different form of reading Berserk, I guess, this is the Golden Arc or the Golden Age Arc chapter 4. Again, this is the Golden Age Arc chapter 4. Chapter 12 on my app. But yeah, but before I get into that, make sure you guys hit the like button. Also subscribe and hit that bell for notifications. Also leave a comment. Let me know what you think about this chapter and what you think about the read through in general. Follow me on Twitch to catch these live streams. Also follow me on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. And join the Discord. They will all be in the description box below. But let's get into it. Last chapter, we see Guts get picked up by another group of mercenaries after everything that happened with him and Gambino. And he pretty much had to escape the camp because the other mercenary group that he was with under Gambino were after him because they thought he killed Gambino. You know, which makes sense, right? Makes sense given the situation they came into and the lack of explanation they got from Guts. But Guts end up working with some other army. I don't know if this was the same group of mercenaries, but it was definitely a group of soldiers invading some town, and then they invaded it, and Guts came and killed this guy named Bazuzo who was causing problems for these soldiers. He killed him rather easily. So let's get into this next chapter. I don't want to waste any more time, so let's get into it. We see all these soldiers just standing around Guts, just, you know, probably most likely they're in shock of the fact he was able to kill Bazuzo by himself rather easily. And we see Guts pick up his helmet, put it back on his head. This dope shot right here with him putting the helmet back on his head. Look like he's closing the visor with his sword over his shoulder. We get another cover page. It says the Golden Age chapter 4. And we see all these other soldiers standing off with the invading soldiers and Guts leading the evading soldiers. Somebody says, now the enemy falters. Mop them all up. And we see these guys just start attacking the soldiers of the town, killing them, and they charge forward, and Guts stays behind. Hey, after Guts did what he did, you know, he could chill. He could chill. Hey, you took like the hardest guy down. One that everybody, the one that was scaring, you know, the soldiers you came with. So we see Guts, you know, like feeling the little wound made from that axe that hit him in the head, and he notices blood. He's looking down, and we see another big soldier with like a big hammer with like a kind of a spike at the end. He goes in for his swing, and Guts looks over at him, and the guy goes in to try to kill Guts, and Guts stabs him like straight through the waist. After stabbing him, he puts his little visor down. After the guy falls on the ground, he's putting his visor down. So now Guts is going towards where the action is. We see guys up in his nest. One of the guys have like a helmet on that kind of remind me of the same helmet that Griffith had after he became God Hand. And then somebody says, wow, the enemy's got some great ones too. And then one of them says, who's stronger, you or him? And then another one says, there's no comparison, man. Right, Griffith? Oh, okay. That is Griffith. I wonder how old he is. You know. But yeah, that's Griffith right there. I was like, bro, he got that same armor that we see Griffith with when he was part of God's Hand. And guess who it is? Guess who it is? It's Griffith himself. And he just looks, bruh, we about to meet Griffith. Now we gonna see how Griffith and Guts came together, I guess. You know, came to start working with each other. Somebody says, the castle's done for. Let's get out while we can. And you see all these fires around this town. And then we cut to like the outside of the town where you see a bunch of smoke coming from the town made by all these fires. And you see a bunch of bodies in silhouette. Like, you don't really see who they are, but it's just a bunch of soldiers. Some dead, some look like they're injured. One guy looked like he might be shoveling something, like shoveling, or I don't know what he's doing. One guy kind of just sitting there, and another guy holding up his comrade. The guy says, here's half a year's wages and the reward for this battle. Count it yourself. And he hands it over. He hands like a bag of money over to Guts. Guts starts counting the money. And then we see the guy who was on horseback at the time when he bartered with Guts to kill Bazuzo. He says, you were fabulous, though. Luck or not, to think that a young man like you against that Bazuzo, well, frankly, I'm shocked. He says, how? Now, would you like to try serving me officially? I wouldn't mislead you. I'll pay you 3 times what I've already paid you. And if you wish, even promote you to squire. And his little note, it said, a knight's apprentice. Man, come on, bro. You Guts be your apprentice, bro. Your apprentice. While you was scared to fight Bazuzo, you was trying to get other people to fight him. Come on, bro. You need to be Guts' apprentice and pay him for it. And then he says, surely there's never been a mere merc the likes of you. We see Guts biting on the gold coins, make sure it's real. And he says, how about it? And then Guts walks away with a bag. They're like, I wonder if it's a bag of food. Guts says, the contract's up today, right? And then the knight says, looks like the fighting around here is done anyway. No, hold on. And then Guts walks off and he says, why keep throwing yourself into dangerous battlefields? What about status, money, and security? Please, at least stay as my guest. And he grabs Guts' arm, and Guts says, don't touch me. Like, shoos his arm off. Don't touch me. And the guy's sweating. He's like, oh. Hey, bro, you don't mess with Guts, man. Guts says, don't you ever touch me. And he just looks like vicious at this guy. And the guy look like he's about to cry. He look like he's about to cry. And he just looks ... Then Guts looks back and says, fuh. And then the knight says, blasted little fool, go and die like a dog on some battlefield then. So yeah, so that was pretty much what I thought. It was a different army, right? It was a platoon of a army platoon, and Guts was probably hired, like his mercenary group was hired to help with this battle, and he did his job. So we look and see this big field with a river flowing through, and we see this path made that looks like it leads to a ruin. Then you see a guy coming over like a hilltop, and he says, oh, and he says, hey, somebody's coming. And then we see Guts walking. The guys are looking down at Guts, and they say, oh, look, it's the guy who killed Bazuzos yesterday. What's he doing here? They say he's an enemy, ain't he? That's nothing to us now, but I bet his pockets are well lined. He's got the reward for killing Bazuzo. What once was lost is found, no? And he says, how about it, Griffith? And we see a young Griffith with his armor helmet, the ever so Hulk-looking armor helmet. I like Griffith's. I like his armor, bro. That armor is just, I like his armor. It looked real like a falcon or eagle or something. Just dope looking. And we see Griffith laying around, lounging. He says, do as you will. The guy says, hee hee. All right, you guys come with me. And it says, oh, to go kill him, Corcus. The guy says, what? What's so funny, Casca? And then we see what looks to be a woman with her knee up on like a branch, sitting on a branch. I think it's a woman. It could be wrong. But she says, you aren't up to killing him, Corcus. I guess the guy's name is Corcus. The one he had like black hair, the one who's planning this whole thing. And he says, ha, We'll see about that. I was planning on killing Bazuso and getting famous myself one of these days. Think I'm just going to sit back and let this bastard we've never even heard of snatch that gold away? And then Korka, which I think is the woman, says, "You'll die." And Korkus looks kind of like, I don't know about that. And he says, "Well, just watch." And then one of the other soldiers says, "That Korkus." And the little group go over to their horses. They're going to try to kill Guts. Okay, let's see how they do. One guy says, like there's a guy like look like he's carving some type of wood or rock or something. He says, "Are you sure about this, Griffith?" And you see Griffith, he just laid back chilling. Then we see a Guts just standing there looking on. He hears something and he says, "Just my imagination." And then you see like the horses' feet trotting along the grass. And then he noticed like, yeah, I definitely hear something. We see the group of, I don't know if they're mercenaries or what, but this little band of soldiers. We see them all on horseback, led by Korka, riding these horses, heavily armored as well. And Guts notices and he says, "Robbers." Korka says, "Go get them, Dante." And then we see one of the guys in the group break off and charge towards Guts. And he goes in for a swing and Guts picks his sword up. And he slices Dante right in half. And you see all the blood gushing out of his waist. And then the other ones stop. They stop. They're like, oh, maybe we... they looking like, okay, we might have made a mistake. And Guts is just standing there ready for a fight. So we see a big, heavily armored guy from the group with like one of those ball and chains, but it has like 3 chains with 3 balls attached. I don't know what that way. I need to find out what that weapon is called. Somebody let me know in the comments. Let me know in the comments what that weapon is called. Is it a mace? I don't think it's a mace. But he comes over to Guts, and then he swings his mace, and then it partially grazes Guts on the cheek. And Guts cuts the man's arm clean off. The other guys are looking. He says, "This guy's really strong." Thinking, like Korka is thinking this. So we see a group of the guys. They're still looking on. They're watching this fight. One of them says, "Hey, Dante and Errol are both down. Look at that. Korka started this and now he's chickening out." Casca says, "Told you so." And then Griffith says, "Casca, go take care of it." And Casca says, "Hold on. Why me? It's Korka's fault." And then we see Griffith like glimpse at Casca. And she's like, "Okay, all right, fine." And we see her putting her helmet on. And Guts is just standing there. And one of the other soldiers says, "Hey, Rigel, go get him." Casca commands Rigel to go get him. Rigel says, Why me?" And then Guts charges straight at Casca. Now Casca look like he's shitting himself. He look like he about to shit himself. So then Guts gets like shot in the arm by an arrow. Korka says, "Casca." And we see Casca with a bow and arrow, or with a crossbow, on horseback. Korka said, "Here to help?" Casca says, "Only because Griffith ordered me to." And Casca says, "Stay back." Casca throws the crossbow and Guts pulls the arrow out of his arm. And Casca goes to unsheathe his sword, or her sword. I don't know if Casca's a guy or a girl. I'm not too sure. And then we see Casca charging into Guts, and Guts is waiting at the ready. Casca swings down at Guts, and Guts like blocks it, but Guts look like, okay, there's a little power on this strike. A little power on it. And then but Guts throws the sword back, like kind of like throws the swing back at Casca. And then now Guts is swinging, but Guts and Casca are pretty much both swinging at each other and blocking. So they're both just swinging and blocking and swinging. And Guts seemed like he might be overwhelming Casca just a bit. And then Guts manages to hit Casca in the helmet, and Casca's helmet flies off. But Guts looks a little shocked, look a little surprised on, maybe the face he's seen. So Guts sees, Casca's face is fully shown now. And Guts says, A woman? And Guts says, huh? Casca charges at Guts and says, bastard. And Guts blocks. The other soldiers are around, and they're just having a good fight. Like, she's holding her own against Guts. I will say that. And the other soldiers around say, hey, look, Casca's being driven back. The only one of us who can beat her is Griffith. So, and Casca's thinking in her head, so strong, driving too hard. So Guts drives her back, and she falls to the ground, and we see Guts going for the finishing kill, and Casca's thinking, I'm dead. But before Guts could finish her off, we see a spear just drive right in front of Guts. And Guts looks over to the left, see who threw it. So now we see Griffith armored up in horseback. Yo, these guys get armored up quick as hell, man. Maybe it's almost like Power Rangers, just transform, armor. Like I would think it would take a while to armor up, but hey, whatever. We see Griffith on horseback, armored up, and he's looking steady, like ready to fight. Bro, like these guys, they attack Guts, man. Like you can't be mad at Guts that he about to kill y'all people. Y'all just start messing with him, man, minding his business and stuff. And Guts looks over at Griffith. So we get a full page spread with Guts with Griffith looking on. I don't know if this is the same exact armor when he's God Hand, because this armor looks a little, maybe the helmet probably, maybe the helmet. I don't know. But the armor looks like, just tad, much more different when he's wearing the God Hand armor. So, but I guess, they get their armor redone, especially because they grow up, right? They grow up, they get bigger. So, you gotta get new armor that's going to fit your body as it grows. Because these guys are still pretty young. Guts is looking. Casca says, Griffith. Guts says, Griffith. And then Corca says, haha, end of the road for you. And Guts looks ready to fight. And Casca says, be careful. This guy's tough. Griffith says, would you lower your sword? And Guts is holding his sword. He's not lowering it. Come on, bro. Y'all start messing with this guy. You can't just think he's going to just like be cooperative after y'all just start messing with him. Man, minding his business. And your little guy wanted to attack him and stuff and try to kill him. And Griffith says, I guess not. So Guts charges at Griffith, and Griffith charges on horseback. So Guts goes in for a swing, and Griffith blocks it with one hand, just ping. And then he kind of slides Guts' sword off of his, and Guts loses balance. Guts says, what? And then we see Griffith manage to stab Guts right through the chest, and Guts falls back. Griffith looks on, and we see the sword right in his left armpit area. So I guess Griffith didn't want to go for a killing blow. I guess he was intentionally avoiding killing Guts. And then Guts falls back. Guts is thinking he's quick, and the guys are cheering. All right, that's our Griffith. Wow, just one blow. And Griffith looks, and Casca comes up and says, amazing, with just one strike. Corca says, he was a fool taking Griffith's head on like that. Casca lifts her blade to Corca and says, excuse me, who do you think Griffith put his life on the line for anyway? And she has the blade at Corca's neck. Casca says, if you don't know how deep the water is, don't jump in. Corca says, right. This was my mistake. Casca says, hey, say something, Griffith. And Griffith says, you've made your point, Casca. And then she takes her sword away from Corca's neck. And then we see Guts getting back up. Nah, Guts ain't finished. Guts ain't finished. Come on now. He's hardly able to stand, and you just see a pool of his blood just dripping down. And Guts is still ready to fight. We know how Guts is at this point. And Casca says, what's with this guy? And we see Guts standing, blood just all soaked through his armpit. And then Casca says, Casca's standing head to head with Guts. And Griffith says, stand aside, Casca. Casca gets out the way. And then we see Griffith and Guts standing off. Griffith on his horse. Get off the horse, Griffith. Get off the horse, my guy. Yeah, you so high and mighty on that horse. So now Guts is like right next to Griffith. And Griffith has like his helmet visor kind of like tilt up, looking down at Guts. And he says, huh. And then Guts goes in for a swing. Casca says, Griffith. But Guts looked like he like loses conscious. And he just falls. And then you see Griffith just looking at him. He didn't even have to do anything. He lost conscious from all that blood loss. And then he falls straight to the ground. And we see Griffith taking off his helmet. And we see Griffith looking at his helmet. Just a full page of just Griffith looking at his helmet with his hair just flowing down his armor. Guts still ain't out. He's just looking up like, just injured, hurt. He's looking up. And Griffith just looks down at him in a very smug way. So yeah, that was the Golden Age chapter 4 end. So yeah, great chapter right here. We get the official meeting of Guts and Griffith. Griffith's little platoon of soldiers just trying to attack Guts. Well, it wasn't all of them. It was like a few of them. They tried to attack Guts, but they got outclassed. And so I guess the second strongest member of this little platoon went to go fight Guts because Griffith pretty much ordered her to stop this whole thing, and she got overwhelmed by Guts. Guts almost killed her, but Griffith had to eventually step in. Griffith did try to like say, "Look, man, put your sword down." Even though it's like, bro, you shouldn't have allowed your men to go attack this guy anyway and expect him to cooperate. To cooperate. So. But Griffith stepped in, got one clean attack on Guts, and that pretty much took Guts out. And now, it is what it is. So that was the chapter, though. That was pretty much the chapter. There was also a beginning when after the whole battle, he dealt with that knight guy who paid him and wanted him to work for him as well. But, it's something slight. It's not a big deal. Guts ended up getting paid and moving on. He ain't like the guy touching him. But yeah, so we met Griffith. Griffith is obviously a leader of maybe his own little mercenary clique. He's also very tough at this age as well, or at this point in his life. Him and Guts meet. I'm curious how they end up becoming comrades. I'm assuming Griffith's not going to let Guts die because Guts is bleeding a lot from that stab he did. But I don't think Griffith was going for a killing blow. He just wanted to stop him. He just wanted to stop Guts, and he succeeded at doing that. So I guess that's kind of to show that Griffith is superior to Guts. And maybe that's how their dynamics have always been. Griffith has always been, maybe by a slight margin, but maybe there has always been a superiority to Guts that Griffith had as far as fighting skill. Now, in Guts' defense, Griffith did have a high ground. He was on his horse, and Guts was also fighting all these other guys. And Griffith was very fresh and heavily armored. But, I don't think Guts is type to make an excuse. It's a life and death situation. But yeah, that's pretty much what we got for the chapter. Make sure you guys hit that like button. Also subscribe and hit that bell for notifications. Also leave a comment. Let me know what you thought of the chapter. Let me know what you thought of the read through. Also follow me on Twitch if you want to catch my live streams. Follow me on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook, and join the Discord to be a part of an anime, manga, and overall entertainment community. Anyway, y'all, it's your boy Sean P, the Bluff God, and I'm out of here. Peace.